Good morning, Tucson, Arizona, and Pima County. We are at September 28th, and you know what that means? We are very, very close to the Fresh Start Expo. October 19th, 2024, number 4, the Expo. We need you there. We're going to have the judges out there from the Superior Court to the Justice Court to the Municipal Court. We're going to have them talking to you about fines, restructuring payments, and taking care of the issues that are holding you back. Whatever is putting a warrant on you or a bench warrant on you, we're going to get those things quashed because we have the Fresh Start event every year now, and now we're having clinics every 3 months or so, and we're trying to get anybody that has something in their past that is hindering their future to come in and see us, and we will get you in to see a judge or somebody that can help you to erase that, seal that, expunge that, restore that, because we do it all. And the judges do it all. And the resources and the people that come out to offer those resources are the ones that do it all. And they come out there on their day off on a Saturday and they say, I'm here for you guys. And we are very blessed to have so many people like that. And to put on events like this, it's absolutely incredible. You know, and it takes a lot of work. And Fresh Start has no paid employees. And we have people that are contracted. We have people that work for short periods, but we work with volunteers, you know, and we have to have somebody that helps us get organized because Dr. Holt and myself are not the most organized people. And Dr. Holt's a little scattered sometimes. And Tom, as we know, is scattered all the time. Okay, but let's get back to what we're doing. My name is Tom Cortese. I'm the co-host of the show. Dr. Holt is not here today, and I'm going to tell you why he's not here today. Because what we're going into next is Dr. Holt is on his way to Phoenix to meet with the committee that is putting on Fresh Start #1 Phoenix at the Grand Canyon University. And they're giving up their campus for a day so we can come and take it over with resources and jobs and housing. And we're going to bring the judges, and we're going to bring the attorneys, and we're going to bring the public defenders. And they're all going to come out, and we're going to do Fresh Start up in Phoenix. And this is the start of something really big, folks, because we have moved from our first county to our second county, and we already are in discussions with the capital of the country, Washington, D.C., to bring Fresh Start to Washington, D.C. And that's maybe in a year, who knows? But right now, we're putting together these events with a great deal of help. And with saying that, I'm going to say that my friend is on the show today. And my friend is Jennifer Fishencourt, who we call J-Fish. Yep. And she is Events by J-Fish. In our last 2 expos and our last 2 clinics, she has coordinated those and put those on for us and kept us in line and kept us walking a straight line when we get a little crooked and we get a little off balance and there's things going wacky. She reels us back in and she gets us back in line. And that's why we've had such successful events. And that's why so many people are able to get served because of the organization that we have going into the events. I'd like to introduce my friend and have her explain a little bit about her organization, Events by J-Fish. And then we're going to talk about the expos and the clinics and everything that she does for us, everything that she sees. And we'll go from there. J-Fish, come on in.
All right. Thank you so much, Thomas. This is fantastic. Well, I have to say, I love working with people like you and Dr. Holt because you actually listen to what I say and you do what I tell you to do. Being in the classroom for 19 years, I didn't always have that. So I love that. So thank you so much for having me. So I love, I'm a compulsive organizer by trade, and I love doing events because there's a beginning and an end, and I get to work with all kinds of visionaries like you and Dr. Holt to help see your vision, to execute it and have it to come to life. So I started my own business, Events by J-Fish, and I work with small business owners and nonprofit leaders that want to put on an event, I handle all of the logistics. So all of those things that visionaries and those details that they don't like to do, I handle them. That is my sweet spot. That is my core genius. I've always said that I don't have a vision. I need to hang around visionaries, but I love to execute that. So that's what I do for my business. I work with a lot of nonprofits. Like I said, I handle all of the detail parts, and so that they can do what they do best, and that is get the people at the event that they want, that they can get the outcome that they want from their event. So that's what I do for my business.
I will say that Jay Fish is a puzzle maker. And what she does for us at Fresh Start is she builds the borders, because we'll run off the rails if she doesn't reel us in. But she builds the borders, and then she starts filling in each element until we get to the event, and it all comes together. And as you know, that we've been saying with the numbers we put out last week on the clinics and stuff like that, it's successful. And it's becoming more successful because we are getting more streamlined, being able to run more people through. Like this year, we're asking people to come at 8 rather than 9. We're going to open at 9, but we're asking you to come at 8 so that we can get you paperwork that you could fill it out, or whatever it is that you need to, because a lot of people show up, and we want everybody to come through. Our last clinic, they stayed till 3 o'clock until everybody. That was the coolest, man.
Yeah.
I mean, those judges on a Saturday could have gone home.
Yeah.
But what did they do?
Yeah. So, and actually, I'm going to put some more guardrails on this, because that's what I do, Tom, is that what we're really asking is people who are looking to have receive legal services on that day to register online first.
Nice.
So one of the big things that I pride myself on my business, and I bring this to events, is what is the guest experience? We want to, it's hospitality on steroids. It's radical, unreasonable hospitality is what we want. And so we've learned a lot in the last couple of years. So what we're really asking is register online. You can do that through, we've got a QR code on some of our flyers, anything on the Facebook, that kind of thing. It'll get you directly to a Google form. You can just simply fill that out. Then that gets me the information of how I can contact you. I send you another form. Those forms will be going to the public defender's office before the event, so we can start looking up and doing all of that paperwork.
Wow, you guys did some stuff.
I'm telling you.
Come on now.
Yes.
Man, I wasn't informed. Please pay attention to this, because this is important, man.
Yeah.
And that's the QR code, right?
That's the QR code.
Hey,
yes.
man,
So
wow.
yeah. So it, even like if you follow us, if you don't have the physical flyer, but you see the flyer on Facebook, or you see Tom out in public, that goes directly to this. It's a Google form. Very simple. You don't necessarily have to have a Google account, but it's easy to get one to fill out that form. What that does is it gets us into the system. Then I can send to these people a more detailed form on what is their desired outcome on legal services that day of. Because what we've learned in the last couple of years is people don't really understand what we have jurisdiction over in Pima County, what we can do, what we have the capacity to do. And so unfortunately, the guest experience has not been the best, because people have waited for a couple of hours to find out that we can't help them. So this is really in partnership with the Public Defender's Office in ensuring that guest experience. So if we can't help you because of whatever reason, or where there's other avenues, then we can let you know before you come expecting legal services on the 19th. We still would say come, because there's going to be tons of community resources. But that also hopefully helps streamline, because that's the part that's the longest, is looking up the case numbers, looking up all of the things that only the lawyers can do. So we're front loading that.
Yeah.
So
I went through the process, and it wasn't, really just having my CR numbers was cool. They could put in a CNR number, but they didn't need it.
Yeah.
They put in your name, and they still have to print out all those forms. They can't take them from you.
Yeah.
So it is a process that takes a minute to go through. It took like 45 minutes for them to consolidate all of my cases and get me before a judge.
Yeah.
And man, 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Some people spent 3 hours, 4 hours. But when they walked out of that room, what do we see when they walk out of that room? Because we know when they're sitting in the green room,
Yeah.
they're tense, they're apprehension, they're, no, it's not real, they're not going to do
Correct.
anything. I've got $25,000 in fines, I can't ever pay this. And when they come out of that room,
We see hope. We literally see that they suddenly now
Yeah.
have hope,
Yeah.
and that they see that their life does matter. That people care enough to spend the time to help them, and that just makes them more grateful and more willing and trusting to try to change their life, not just kind of keep being in that same cycle of that mental defeat of this won't work. I
Yeah.
can't do this. This
Yeah.
isn't for me. This is for somebody else. So that's what's really cool, is seeing them walk out with hope.
yeah, I say it's like they're walking on a cloud.
Yeah.
That there was such a burden that had just been lifted off of them that they don't even know how to comprehend a response.
Yes.
You know, and we got to start tracking the fines. I
Yes.
mean, we got to start
Yes.
tracking the fines. I know it's been over $1 million over the last 4 years that
Yep.
have been reduced because of all the stories that I've heard. It's just been crazy. I mean, just Water Walkers, their group has come through, and at last count, dude was saying there was one guy, $57,000. You know,
Yeah.
you're not going to pay it. You're never going to be able to pay it. But
Yeah.
that's going to actually divert your attention from your family and doing the things that you need to do for your family to flourish,
Correct.
because this is always over your head. And the judge said, let's not have this over your head.
Yes. Yeah.
And how cool of Dr. Holt to come, full circle and say, why can't we give people a fresh start?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why shouldn't it be that when you have finished serving your time, your sentence is over?
Yeah, and it's such a mile marker that the county attorney's office supports what we do, that the public defenders support what we do, the judges, all of them support what we do, because they see the backlog of their own cases. They see all of the things going on, and here in one day we can handle so many things. So sitting in a room planning with all of the legal agencies, and they're already planning, because there's several things, you would probably know more about this, that they can assign a court date for.
Yeah.
They can't do it that day, but they can assign a court date.
Yeah.
They're already setting up a structure, so it's going to be that same day for everybody, and it's like 2 or 3 days. So even they're thinking about, how can we streamline this system? And that's what I love, is because I'm all about how do we work smarter, not harder, and streamlining the process. So
And
it's
I think
very
it was
cool.
at the last clinic that you guys came up with the idea to get the information to the public defender's office prior to the event.
Yes, and that actually came from it actually came from the county attorneys, the people that were there doing this. Yeah, and so so that's the nice thing, is it's that buy-in, because even those agencies are seeing the benefit to this, and they're seeing how lives are actually being changed by this. Yeah, it's incredible.
Dr. Holt and myself were just on the county attorney's podcast, and a young lady, Emmanuel, that works for the Pima County Attorney's Office, that runs the restorative justice program. Wonderful show, wonderful opportunity, and she's like a kid in a candy store about Fresh Start, and is not ashamed to say it. And for me, a person with a past, looking at somebody in her position, being in a room with somebody in her position doing a radio show, first and foremost, is crazy, right? Because never in a million years would you think this dude that did 30 years in prison is on a show with the county attorney talking about restorative and transformative justice. But that's what Dr. Holt has done. He has given all of us with a lived experience a voice. And he's allowing us to use that voice when we come to Fresh Start and say, I don't want this on me anymore. I don't want this covering me anymore. And we move through an event, your events that you put on with us, crying, laughing, overjoyed, just all of those range of emotions that you go through, because you are seeing people's lives completely altered. Because a judge said, why should you have to do this? Let's take that burden off of you.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, it's like the young man that came in with all of his money and he put it on the desk with the judge, and he said, "This is everything I have. It'll pay part of my fine, but I won't be able to pay my bills and I won't be able to feed my family."
Yep.
And the judge said, "Pick up your money, go home and feed your family."
Yeah.
That's
I know.
mean,
yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. Well, and that's what
So
the
how rewarding is it to put on an event like this?
Yeah, and that's what the judges love about it too, is because they're in this position where they can now do that. They're not weighted down by some of the other things that happen, and so they're super excited. I mean I already have judges that are reaching out to me, and they're telling me, well, this defense lawyer can come, and they want to come help. So they are gathering people to come to Fresh Start to help us. And this is another thing that I think is amazing, is that the legal agencies are going to be providing volunteers day of to help us with the people who do come in and fill out the paperwork. We call it triage, but it really is, okay, which ones can we help and which ones can we not?
Yeah.
And they can look at the paperwork and already be able to tell right then, so we can be very solution oriented that day with the people who haven't registered on time.
Are we set up in any way to help people that have issues in another county, and we would be able to give them the information that they need in order to file from this county? Are we set up to do that?
So that becomes very legal system, in which I don't know. I know that I've heard legal agencies say, well, we can help them fill out the paperwork.
Right.
And then the paperwork, and then they send them. But there's also the legal agencies, they provide their own kind of clinics and stuff. We really are trying to, at Fresh Start, to handle those things that we can handle that day.
Right.
So it's more, so yes, the short answer is not on that day, but there are ways that Fresh Start and the legal agencies can help you file that paperwork.
Right. Very cool. That day, what do people need to do now for that day?
Follow us on Facebook, find that link on any of our Facebook posts, and fill out that form. It's a very simple form to begin with, and what that does is it puts you into my inbox, and then I will send out the other form for them to fill out. When that form is filled out, I send it to the public defenders, and then they're starting to do the research. And then what that happens is then we will, if they can help them, then you'll hear from the public defender's office, yes, we can help you, show up at X time, and we'll have, and so those people that have registered online, we're going to have a golden ticket to where when if we already have their name on, yes, we can help you, and we've started they literally will be given a golden ticket.
That's so cool.
So.
Man, that's so cool. So get ready. I mean, be ready so you don't have to get ready. Here's the thing, fellas, young ladies that are getting out of the prisons now, and you may not think that you have any recourse or any light at the end of the tunnel. Come see us. Yep. There's going to be people spread throughout the Tucson Convention Center that cover from behavioral health to mental health to addiction health, to housing, to jobs, Arizona at Work, One Stop. I mean, employers, and that our employers have increased over the years, and we got a bunch of new ones and smaller ones, and I mean Ace with the telephones and Mod Pizza, I mean, just very, very cool. And I always like throwing out the names and recognizing the people that sacrifice for us. And you know my story. It's for us, man. And they come out there on a Saturday and they give up their Saturday. And it's not one or two people. I mean, what DKA brings out about a dozen people, don't they? Every time, right?
Yeah, and it's a whole trailer full of clothes. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep.
And they set it all up on racks and everything so people could look good. And Sports Clips comes out there. What was it? 10 ladies were cutting hair last time? 8 or 10 ladies were cutting hair, and they cut all day. And I mean, you get a haircut, you go get some clothes, and you go see an employer, man. You're feeling a lot better about yourself. But what we do is the legal. And to feel better about yourself, to speak just a little bit on that, allow me again to harp on the election. And our preliminary election in Pima County, there was only 10% of the people in Pima County that voted, which means 90% of the people don't care who's making decisions for their family and for themselves. we need to change that number. We need to turn that back around the other way. And we also need to take the 200 to 250,000 disenfranchised individuals in Arizona who cannot vote because they have a felony conviction on their record. And all we have to do is fill out some paperwork and we can get you before a judge. And now that's getting more streamlined. And we're getting better at what we do because we have people that are organized helping us do it and pointing out, hey, listen, and sometimes fresh eyes is the best way to see things. And sometimes we look at something so much we can't see it change, and somebody just walks up and says, hey, what if you did this? Wow, wouldn't that be a good thing? Because we were sad for 2 years at the end of the day because there were a bunch of people that didn't get to see the judges.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And we're working on that.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. And 100% just, because we are working with the Public Defender's Office and the agencies that they're using their time to do this.
Wow. And they're using time outside of Fresh Start Day.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
because they see they see the huge level of need. And so the office is utilizing their monies in order to help with that one day.
Yeah. Wow. And hopefully in the future, because, other counties need this. Yuma County, Navajo, all these other counties are going to need this at some point in time. And we're going to have to centrally locate it or something. Phoenix for the north and Tucson for the south in order to get judges from those courts so we can address those things. Because trust me, we want everybody to be able to vote. We want everybody's voice to be able to be heard. And I'm constantly harping on it that I am so proud of the fact that I voted again. And that in November 5th, people, okay, and you have to have all your registrations done by October 7th. So please get on this. And youth, 18 to 24 youth, only 18% of you guys are registered. Get out there and register, man. We need fresh eyes, right? What does youth do, man? It gives us new ideas because they're looking at it from a completely different lens. We may not like the lens, but they're looking at it from a different lens, which might open up things for all of us. Get out there and vote. Okay, listen, November 2nd is going to be Fresh Start Maricopa and Grand Canyon University. Any organization that here in Tucson and you have a sister organization or a parent organization in Phoenix and you want to be in that, please contact Jay Fish and let her know, and we'll get you the information and get you signed up for that event also. Any of the resources that could be used for jobs, for housing, for behavioral health, please contact us. And for Pima County, if you are an employer, there are so many benefits to hiring an ex-con. There is a federal bonding program. There is a federal insurance program. When you hire an ex-felon, you receive a $5,000 bond for the period of time. Every 6 months it gets renewed for the period of time that you keep him hired there. And I'm telling you, I've said it repeatedly, time and again, one of the most dedicated and loyal workforces you will ever find are the people in prison. They just need you to trust the skill level and to teach them something. Because we talk about it again all the time. You cannot rehabilitate something that has never been habilitated to begin with. So when we start at ground zero, we give people a chance to learn and get excited about that learning. And when they start to learn new things, they start to teach new things, right? And we see it, and we see it every year because we see people come back every year, right? At the events, and they come back and they volunteer.
Yes, absolutely. And people like you that because of their situation, they have started new things and that their life has built into these. So now they are the ones giving back to society, 100%.
Amen. Yeah, I get to do the orientations every week at the prison for the people being released to Pima County. So I get to speak to them about the resources that we have to offer. And I get to speak to them about the events and all of those things. But I especially get to speak to them about the modeling that they do in the community.
Yes.
Because we get to do there's simulations that we do at the federal prison that the federal prison staff become the inmates.
Oh, wow.
And they have to go through the parole process.
That's powerful.
Right. Modeling is very important because every day there's an officer going to that guy's cell. How is he treating him? Because you know what? that kid's going to come out of there someday,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going to remember.
Yep.
Because I came out of there,
Yep.
and I remember.
Yeah.
I remember all of them. I remember the good ones. I remember the bad ones.
Yep.
Let's just remember the good. Let's take each day and have a fresh start, man. Because October 19th, you guys are going to have a chance. And be ready so you don't have to get ready. Get out there, man. Get registered on the QR code and come out and see us and change your life and talk to some people. And let's start addressing the issues that put us in the place, that put us in the place, that put us in the place, that put us in the joint. And when we do, we're going to have a true fresh start. God bless you all. Have a good Saturday.